I'm very happy to be here today with you all. And as some of you may know, about 5 months ago, I had a liver transplant. So I now have the liver of a mid-20s person who died in a car crash and was generous enough to donate their organs. And I wouldn't be here without such generosity. So I hope all of us can be as generous and elect to become organ donors. I'd like to take a moment and thank everybody in the Apple community for the heartfelt support I got, too. It really meant a lot. And I'd also like to especially thank Tim Cook and the entire executive team of Apple. They really rose to the occasion and ran the company very ably in that difficult period. So thank you, guys. Let's give them a round of applause. So, I'm vertical. I'm back at Apple, loving every day of it. And I'm getting to work with our incredibly talented teams to come up with some great new products for you all in the future. So it's wonderful. Thank you. So today, we get to talk about music. Before we do, I'd like to say, number one, I'm going to have Phil Schiller join me for part of the presentation, as well as Jeff Robbins, our VP of iTunes Engineering. And before we dive into music, I'd like to talk for a minute about the iPhone. It's thrilling to report to you today that in a little over 2 years, we have sold 30 million iPhones. $30 million. And during the last year, one of the reasons for that has been the remarkable App Store. The App Store is just a little over a year old, and we have now over 75,000 apps in the App Store. And users have downloaded over 1.8 billion apps. And yeah, isn't that incredible? And that does not include updates. If it included updates, the number would be a few times more than that. 1.8 billion applications have been downloaded. Now, today we have something new for iPhone and iPod Touch owners. We are introducing iPhone OS 3.1. It's got a bunch of really nice features in it and a bunch of bug fixes as well. And I just want to highlight two new things today. The first one is our Genius technology. Our Genius technologies work really well for automatically making playlists from songs in your music library that go great together. We've applied that same technology now to apps in the App Store. Wouldn't it be great if the App Store could make recommendations of apps to you, just like Genius is making recommendations of songs? And that's what it does now. It automatically makes recommendations from the App Store based on the applications you own. And it's really nice. You turn it on your iPhone or iPod Touch, and we've added a third button here called Genius next to New and What's Hot, and it'll show you recommendations based on what you already own. It'll even tell you what it's basing it on. And this will only get better and better and better as we get larger databases of people, what they buy, what they like. The recommendations will get better and better, just like they have for music. The second thing we're adding today is ringtones. We're adding ringtones to the iTunes Store. We have over 30,000 ringtones from all 4 major labels. They're going to be sold at a breakthrough price for ringtones of $1.29, free previews, one-click purchasing, and they're in the iTunes Store. We've bumped podcasts over under More, and we've given that slot to ringtones, and you can just buy ringtones just like you can other music, and they show up right on your iPhone, and you can set them to be ring for any particular number or be your default ringtone. It's really easy. So those are just two of the features in 3.1. 3.1 is free for iPhone and iPod Touch customers with 3.0, and it's available today. It's a free download from iTunes, so go check it out. It's really nice. So let's move on to music. Well, to start with, let's start with iTunes. We all love iTunes, use it every day. So do people around the world. iTunes is now in 23 different countries. We just opened Mexico a few weeks ago. And iTunes is the #1 music retailer in the world now. We've sold over 8.5 billion songs, but a statistic that's even more amazing to me is we've recently crossed over 100 million accounts on iTunes, and all with credit cards, all with one-click purchasing. So that makes iTunes one of the largest stores on the web. And what Genius Mixes are is, imagine a genius DJ that plays endless mixes of songs from your iTunes library that go great together, almost like radio stations. And iTunes will make up to 12 of them based on the music you have in your library and this awesome Genius database. And you just click on one to start playing it. You see the album that's playing in particular. But they'll go on and on and on playing songs that go well together from your library. And it's really quite something. It's like a great DJ or a great radio station. And we think you're really going to like this. So Genius Mixes. Next, improve syncing. When you want to sync stuff to your iPod Touch or your iPhone, we can make that even better. And we have. So as an example, when you're going to sync music now, you can say, I want to sync these playlists, but I also want all of the music by Bob Dylan. And I want, rock and roll genre, everything from rock and roll. And it'll automatically figure that all out and put the right music on your iPod or iPhone. It's really nice. Or you might be in photos. And, of course, if you have a PC, you'll sync photos from your folder onto your iPod or iPhone. But if you're on a Mac, you can sync albums, but you can also have events and faces from iPhoto. And say, well, I want to sync these albums, but I want Becky's birthday, and I want all the photos that have a Lee in them. And it'll automatically do the right thing. Same with movies. I want the latest 3 movies that I've bought or rented, but I always want Ratatouille. So it'll do the right thing. Maybe the most popular thing that we're adding in improved syncing, though, is a way to manage your applications on your iPod Touch and your iPhone. This is really wonderful and allows you to arrange your applications however you want really fast and then automatically change them on your iPod Touch or your iPhone. It's wonderful. So improve syncing. Next up is home sharing. Now today, you can stream music from other computers in your house. You can look at their library, you can look at the libraries of your kids, your spouse, and whoever, and stream music from those libraries and listen to it on your computer in your house. And it's really cool. But we can go much further than that. Because with the new home sharing, we're going to let you copy songs, movies, TV shows, etc. among up to 5 authorized computers in your house. And so when you turn home sharing on by typing in your name and password, you're going to still see all the other computers you can share within your house. You can click on that, and you'll see their contents. You can stream the contents, or you can select it and drag whatever you want right into your library, and it will copy it. And you now have a copy. Matter of fact, we make it even easier for you with this little control down here where you can see only stuff on another computer that's not in your library, to make it easy to find what you want to copy over. And you can even set it up to do this automatically. So it's really nice. Next up is a redesigned store. The iTunes store is just much, much cleaner, much better navigation, so you can get from anywhere to anywhere almost instantly. New artist pages that are very nice. New movie pages, new TV pages. It's just a much, much cleaner layout that I think you'll enjoy. And finally, something I really love, iTunes LP. You know, some of us here are old enough that we actually bought LPs. And it was great, because you not only got the music, but you got great photography, you got liner notes, you got essays. I mean, you know, who could forget some of these classic albums? And unfortunately, most of that stuff left us when we went to CDs, and then, of course, even more so when we went to digital music. And that shouldn't be the case. We can deliver amazingly rich content digitally, and that's what we're doing with iTunes LP. So, you bought a great album in the past, you can get that content again with iTunes LP. So this is iTunes LP for American Beauty, an awesome Grateful Dead album, and it's got everything with it. It's got videos, it's got liner notes, it's got all sorts of stuff. So here's an example of some lyrics. Here's an example of a chronology of their albums that you can go into, and all the songs. Here's a Bob Dylan album. Here's a great Doors album. Norah Jones album. Pearl Jam. Dave Matthews Band. And the artists themselves can get involved with creating these things. We're giving all the tools to the labels and the artists so that they can bring their creativity directly to the listeners. And we think this is going to be really outstanding. So, new iTunes 9, new iPod lineup for the holidays. We're really glad to share this with all of you today. But we do have one more thing. And that is a video camera. You know, we've seen video explode in the last few years, nowhere more than on YouTube, which is serving up 1 billion video streams a day. And where are these streams coming from? They're coming from folks like us, who are using these portable solid-state video cameras to take personal videos. And it's incredible. So here's one, a very popular one. 4 gigabytes of memory, $149. And this market's really exploded. And we want to get in on this. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start off with 8 gigabyte unit. 8 gigabytes of memory. And we're going to lower the price from $149 to free. This is the new Apple, isn't it? So how are we going to do that? The way in which we're going to do that is we're going to build a video camera right into the new iPod Nano. On the back of every Nano is a video camera and a microphone integrated right in. And there's a speaker inside as well to listen to the music, to listen to the sound of your videos. So built into every iPod Nano is now an awesome video camera. And yet we've still retained its incredibly small size. And you realize how small when you compare this to other devices, right? 1/5 as thick, 1/10 the volume. So you can take along your iPod Nano and always have your video camera with you. This tiny little package. So how good is it? Turns out it's great. Let me just show you a little bit of real video off it here.
All right, we call this the 3Z on 3Z. 1, 2, 3Z. Woo! Woo!
So you can watch your video right on the Nano over and over and over again. You can also sync it back to your computer, to your My Videos folder if you're on a PC, or right in to iPhoto if you're on a Mac. And with one click, you can send it to YouTube. And this is that same video, undoctored, on YouTube.
All right, we call this a 3Z on 3Z. 1, 2, 3Z.
So, pretty amazing to always have a video camera of that quality in your pocket, built right into your iPod Nano. Now, the iPod Nano is a pretty incredible device. It is the most popular music player in the world. We've sold over 100 million iPod Nanos. By far the most popular music player in the world. And it's a great music player. It's got cover flow built in. We're adding voiceover, the same as the iPod Shuffle. And we're adding some other really cool things too, like Genius Mixes. So you can make a Genius Mix, or actually it will automatically make Genius Mixes. Here's 3 of them: a jazz mix, a rock mix, a blues mix. Again, endless mixes of songs that go great together out of your music library, created with this giant database and the Genius technology. We've also built in for the first time an FM radio. So you've got a great FM radio built into your iPod Nano now. And we've built in a voice recorder app using the built-in microphone, as well as a pedometer. Right? So you can keep track of your steps, and you can even sync up on the web to Nike Plus for long-term goals like this. So, the new iPod Nano. Built-in video camera. It's got a larger 2.2-inch display. Same great enclosure. Built-in microphone and speaker. Voiceover, FM radio, pedometer. A lot of great new stuff in the same beautiful design. And it comes in awesome colors this year. We finally figured out how to do colors that are just unimaginably beautiful. They're polished, anodized aluminum. And when you see them, it's hard to believe how stunning that they are. So, the iPod Nano, in all these great colors, comes in 2 models. An 8 gigabyte for $149, and a 16 gigabyte model for $179. And they're all available today.